Pittsburgh Steelers fans, are you ready for another 3 years with your head coach, Mike Tomlin? And where does he sit on that pay scale of head coaches, top tier head coaches? Welcome back to Mike Drop Sports, everybody. I'm Jason. Let's dive in here on a Wednesday with some Steelers news and analysis. Let's talk a little bit about head coach Mike Tomlin and where he sits on this, at least where he sat before, prior to this extension of 3 years by the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking him to the 2027 season. Where did Mike Tomlin sit in terms of payment per year compared to other head coaches in this league? And is he better or worse than some of them that make a little bit more money? I know it's really hard to find coaching salaries sometimes, but through my research and what I have found, I've compiled some numbers that I think are decently accurate. So you look at Mike Tomlin making about $12.5 million prior to this extension, which I'm sure he's got some sort of pay raise with it. And in my guess, I'm guessing at least $3 to $4 million per season, which could possibly put him in the $16, $17 million a year range for Coach Tomlin for the next 3 years. But you look at this team, you look at this coach, and you say to yourself, compared to the other ones, is he better or worse? Again, and I would love your opinion on that. So make sure you put that in the comments after we go through some of these salaries of what you think Coach Tomlin, or how you think Coach Tomlin matches up against some of these other head coaches. And let's talk first about the highest paid, and that's probably Andy Reid at $25 million per season. Coach Reid winning Super Bowls really benefits from having a once in a lifetime, once a generational type quarterback in Patrick Mahomes, who can put a team on his back and win championships. And Patrick Mahomes has proven that they have the hardware to back that statement up. So Coach Reid benefits greatly from having a guy like Patrick Mahomes, but Coach Reid is a pretty solid coach, and he holds that ball club together, and he makes about $25 million per season. So Andy Reid sitting at the top of the mountain there in terms of pay, at least from my research. Then you go down and you look at the next guy on this list, headed into the second year with his team after taking a break after a tumultuous relationship at the end with the New Orleans Saints. And that is Sean Payton with the Denver Broncos. Reports say that he makes roughly about $18 million per season currently. You look at Mike Tomlin, you look at Sean Payton, match those up in terms of pay scale, in terms of wins, in terms of playoff success and all those things. Mike Tomlin sits 8-10 within the playoffs. No playoff wins since 2016. So you're matching up against some of these guys here in terms of what he can do. Is he better or is he worse? You look at Jim Harbaugh, a guy that just came back to the NFL after winning a national championship with the Michigan Wolverines. Jim Harbaugh now sits with the Chargers of Los Angeles, making roughly around $16 million per season per reports. So you look at Jim and you say to yourself, Mike has a Super Bowl. Mike's played in 2 Super Bowls. Jim doesn't have that. Should Jim make more than Mike? Is Mike better? So, ask yourself these questions as we continue here. Sean McVay, a guy that has won a Super Bowl. There you go. Sean McVay, $15 million a season. He's young gun. Is he a player's coach too? Scheme-wise, some say he's a real genius. But he's taken some teams that I think, should have completely fell apart and continued to win with them also, like Mike. But Sean McVay, a really young guy that's had a lot of success in his short time as head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. So you look at him making roughly $15 million a year. And then you continue to go down the list and you get the 49ers head coach, Kyle Shanahan, whom has lost the Super Bowl just last year to the Kansas City Chiefs with a loaded San Francisco 49ers team full of weapons, great defense. And you say to yourself, he couldn't get it done against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, but yet he makes $14 million. And then you come to Coach Mike Tomlin, and this was prior to his extension. Again, guys, this is prior to this recent extension. And reports say he was making roughly $12.5 million per season. Are the guys listed above him that much better? Do they have that much more value? Would you choose Mike Tomlin over any of those guys above him inside of the NFL if you were picking a head coach to take over your franchise? And right behind Mike at $12 million, basically the same exact pay, is another AFC North coach, and that was John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh was making roughly $12 million. And those two coaches that are roughly, 3, 5, 6th, and 7th on the list of highest paid head coaches, again, before the extension that Mike Tomlin got, inside one of the toughest divisions in all of football. The AFC North, the black and blue division. The division that will be featured on HBO's Hard Knocks here coming up in the 2024 season. I believe premiering on December 3rd. So you're going to get to see the AFC North playoff race, the chase for the crown for the AFC North, which is going to be an absolute bloody battle in the back half of the season. And it's going to provide must-see TV. And two of those coaches don't even rank in the top 5, at least then, of highest paid head coaches in the league. Now, again, guys, I'm sure Mike Tomlin got a raise. And do you guys also think? Let me know what you think about this. Do you think he deserved a raise? Or do you think the Steelers should have kept him around the same pay rate? Do you think Mike Tomlin's performance, no playoff wins since 2016, an 8-10 record inside of the playoffs with 1 Super Bowl win, 1 Super Bowl loss? Do you think that that's warranted to give a raise to Mike Tomlin with no losing seasons in the regular season, no losing years since he's been a head coach, 18 winning seasons in a row or above 500, no, always. So does that get Mike Tomlin the raise? Is that a significant enough statistic for you if you're the Rooneys to give Mike that raise? Does Mike's extension come from he's a player's coach? He really can bring some players in that maybe would take less money just to play with Mike. Does that help him out? I do think, though, Mike lacks some things on the football field in my eyes. I think situationally, game management-wise, I think he has some deficiency there. He's good, of course, guys. He's an NFL head coach. Of course, he's better than probably all of us. But still, I think that could be better in terms of ranking him against some of the other head coaches in the NFL. I think, too, also his challenges and things of that nature need a little bit of work. I think the biggest one is really learning how to handle the roster throughout the season, knowing when to sit people, knowing when to play people. I think sometimes this holding the rookie back thing bites him in the butt a little bit. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I think there are some adjustments that Coach Mike Tomlin can make that would benefit him in a big, big way. And I hope that he does. And I think that he did recognize some of those deficiencies here over the offseason by hiring outside guys in a hard-nosed, hard-ass Arthur Smith that does get along with players, that players respect, and I think has a similar type relationship with players like Mike Tomlin does. I think the players really, truly respect him. So you bring Arthur Smith in, a guy that was a head coach, a guy that was an offensive coordinator in Tennessee, to come in and rejuvenate this offense in terms of scheme and really create a new environment for this offense in order for it to grow. So we have to applaud Mike Tomlin on that hire. I think that was way better than what he had been doing, promoting from within. I think he let the Matt Canada experiment go on far too long, causing major setbacks. I think that really caused quarterback growth to be stunted, at least with Kenny Pickett. And then Kenny Pickett, we come to find out, has no guts, has no intestinal fortitude, a real whiner, crybaby, gets his way, goes out to Philadelphia, good riddance. We got rid of him. But anyway, that's for another day. But you look at Coach Tomlin and you look at some of these other quarterback or coaches on this list, and you say to yourself, some of them have, a franchise guy. Andy Reid got Patrick Mahomes. That gets you paid. Sean Payton had Russell Wilson, but, they're in flux now. But Sean Payton really got paid off his name more than anything. And his success in New Orleans. That's what he got paid off of. That's what he's making his money off of right now. Jim Harbaugh has Justin Herbert. That's why he's just walking into a great situation with a young gun that I think has super high potential. Sean McVay had Jared Goff, whom I think performed really well. And also he had Matthew Stafford, a guy that I think is a Hall of Famer in my book. So two good quarterbacks there. Then you got Kyle Shanahan, who hit the lottery with a Brock Purdy, I think. So yes, those guys got quarterbacks usually, and that gets you paid. Mike Tomlin, on the other hand, the only guy on that list that I really feel like has had no real quarterback play. Mitchell Trubisky, terrible. I think, though, they underestimated a little bit of what Mason Rudolph could do, so we'll see. We'll see what Mason does in Tennessee, but I think that was a gross mismanagement of him. But anyway, that's beside the point. But Mike Tomlin, again, guys, maybe not had that great quarterback play here with an aging Ben Roethlisberger. Ben, the greatest quarterback probably to play in the city of Pittsburgh, just didn't have it like he used to in the latter part of his career. And the Steelers rode with him, showed their loyalty. Ben was still way better than a lot of options that they would have been able to bring in there. So you can't totally fault the Steelers for that. But Mike Tomlin hasn't had, really elite quarterback play for some time now, probably since 2016 when he had that loss. He hasn't had that significant quarterback play, that quarterback that can carry a football team throughout a whole NFL season. So, yeah, there's been a lot of variables at play and, that have hindered Mike Tomlin's maybe playoff success, that have held him back a little bit. So, again, he has to be applauded for holding this team together. But the main focus of this video today is, how does Mike Tomlin rank now? Do you think that he's probably making, in my guess, I'm thinking he's making 16, 17 million per season right now. I'll be fair and say 16 and a half would probably be my fair guess, which would put him up in there to the second, third spot on this highest paid coaching list. And do you think that that's fair? Do you think Mike Tomlin should be around the Andy Reid pay scale, which we don't know. Maybe he is, but do you think that Mike Tomlin brings enough value and is the best option and that he is better than these guys to where he should be paid more? It's kind of crazy to see that Mike was making $12.5 million. That is kind of crazy compared to some of these other ones. I think that he is at least better than a couple of guys on that list to where I think that maybe he should have been making a little bit more bread. But hey, things change. Money changes every year. Salaries go up, blah, 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 whatever. This is the NFL. So money flows, new money flows, and they find new ways to spend that new money real quick. So it's a constantly evolving sport and a constantly growing sport in terms of finances and things of that nature. But crazy salaries, guys. Head coaches didn't make this back in the day, not when Chuck Noll was here. No, I don't know about Bill Cowher. I don't know what he made toward the back half of his career, but I could say at the beginning part, he wasn't making 10, 12, $13 million. I could guarantee that. I don't know what he was making toward the back half, but I'm sure it was several million, no doubt about it. But yeah, coaching salaries going way up, especially for the head coach. And if you find one, you should hold on to them. And I think the Steelers do a good job of that, being stable, being a model franchise in terms of how to get things done. You look at the Chiefs, they've rode with Andy Reid. And before that, Andy Reid was a Philadelphia Eagle forever and a day. So, he provides that stability. And that's what you see a lot of these, well, at least a couple of these head coaches provide. And that's stability for their players, and all that good stuff. So you guys let me know what you think about that pay scale and what you think Mike Tomlin maybe is possibly making right now. And was he the right choice to give that extension to? And do you guys think that he deserves more or to stay the same in terms of yearly salary? What do you guys think about that? I, for one, probably think that he is now making, I would say, like I said, $16 million, $16.5 million per season. I think that would be a very fair estimate. That's like a $4 million a year raise for Mike Tomlin. But did he deserve that raise? Is that something that you would have done if you were the ownership group, the general manager, all that? Is that something you would have been comfortable with a guy that hasn't won a playoff game since 2016? So you let me know, guys. This isn't just Jason preaching at you, telling you this is what you should believe. I want you guys to give your opinions and be incorporated into this conversation, as always, is what we really try to do here at Mike Drop Sports. Include you, Steelers Nation, into the conversation every single day. So let's wrap it up, guys. We have a live stream tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. You can join us for Steel City Live, part part of our daily live stream here, only on Mike Drop Sports. So make sure you don't miss that. We'll be there at 6:30 p.m. tonight. So again, apologize for pushing the show back to 8 p.m., but we had football started for us, and you can start to smell it in the air, baby, and that's awesome, and it gets me really excited for the season. So again, guys, like, subscribe, share, do all that great stuff. It's free, it's easy, and it really helps your favorite creators or creators you like to watch every day. It really helps them out, so don't be shy about doing that. Hit the like button, share. It's free, it doesn't cost you nothing, and it really helps support your favorite guys and your people you like to watch every day. So until tonight, for Steel City Live, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.